Howdy crew, got a little bit of an update on what's going to be going on with the welding rig and projects. Let's get to it. Howdy crew, I'm William Morris, President and CEO of the Welding Cowboy Corporation, certified licensed welder and owner-operator of a welding rig based out of Los Angeles, California. On here I'll be going over welding knowledge, what it's like to own and operate a welding rig, welding blueprints, welding math, welding equipment, and so much more. Welcome to the channel. I'm William Morris, the Welding Cowboy. As y'all have seen, the welding rig and the corporation has not been overflooded with projects, meaning structural projects or just any kind of big projects going on. So what I'm going to be doing is going to be working on small little, if you want to call it art projects, and just simple little things that do sell. I've seen them sell, and I'll be working on that. And it's not an easy thing to get into because a lot of folks can be doing it. First and foremost, that would be competition for myself, and the company would be hobby welders. Hobby welders, they're just in a garage, they can weld stuff together, and they have minimal overhead. They just have electricity, consumables, and if they're trying to cover time, and a lot of hobby welders actually don't even cover any of that. They think of just what it is per hour, or not even counting the cost of the actual product that they're using to make their final product. So it's very wishy-washy in that area, so that makes it very difficult for me. But I will be trying to get into that, just something to get in there. Also, reason I'm doing this, I'll be putting on the website to sell because there's a little thing that I did not know about trademarks that I'm running into right now, is I have to sell out of state. Now, all of this is kind of back and forth, and it sounds a little bit confusing. I either have to have a company or client from out of state hire me to do something in state, or someone out of state, whether it be a company or client, have me put something together, weld it together, what have you, sell it to them and ship it to them. So that's all fine and dandy. I do not know of anyone out of state that would be using my services of any sort, and I'm certainly not going to be driving 10 states away. Now, I am covered for the state of California, state of Arizona, and Nevada. So I can go to those areas, but I don't know of any projects that need to be done there. So my goal right now is to make some art projects, and I already have some ideas, but I'll be going through that later. And not in this vlog, just in other vlogs, especially once I'm putting those together. Put them on the website, sell them on there. It's not going to be a huge stream of income. I'm well aware of that. Again, going against hobby welders or people that do not have as much overhead as I do. And so there's a lot of odds against this, but I'm still going to go for it because I want to. And also it will help with the legalities of the trademark, because you're not supposed to have friends, family, anyone like that buying something. So it's say if someone's out there and they have a relative, they can't buy that and use that as a reason to have the trademark. Someone have it on the website, can be advertising that around. So then if other people know other folks out of state, I can sell it there. Another thing that's going to be also against this idea, but I'm okay with that, is the type of materials. The type of materials I'm looking at, they're expensive. They are quality materials. I do not want to use cheapo materials to where, one, it will weld poorly, but also hold up poorly for the client. So if a customer comes and buys something off the website, I don't want there to be poor metal that's parent metal and the weld can't hold on to it properly, or for it to not hold up in general because of just poor quality material. So that is where I'm going with all this. I know there are a lot of odds stacked against it, but I do not care. I'm well aware of it. I've taken it all into account, and where I'm going with it, I'm perfectly happy with where it is right now. Again, it's not going to be a huge stream of income, but I'll be working on some simple stuff that I enjoy. I'm not going to just create stuff that I don't like. I'm going to be creating stuff that I like. I'm sure other folks would enjoy purchasing those. That's why I'll have that on the website, weldingcowboycorporation.com. And so that's just going to be what's going to be going on. I have to work on the website. I'm going to have to upgrade it. I do not have any e-commerce whatsoever. I'm going through Wix, and I have the bare minimum package, which was perfectly fine. until I decide to do this. So I'm gonna have to upgrade it. I believe it's 2 levels. So I'm gonna get that done, and then I'm gonna be working on the stuff and get it on there. That will all be updated on here. There's gonna be quite a few vlogs on that, the different stuff that I've purchased, the welding of it, the website, all that stuff. Y'all will stay updated on how it is going. But again, I know it's not going to be a huge stream of income. That is not what I started the welding rig for. It is not what I'm planning the main stream of income to be. I'm just having it as a little bit of a tie over, just something to get some revenue into the company, so that way, also for the IRS, if they label the welding company as a air quotes hobby, then the company status gets stripped away from it, and then there's no more write-offs, none of that stuff. It is air quotes a hobby, and it'd be the same as if someone is going and building stuff as a hobby, whether it be arts, crafts, this or that, and they're doing it as a hobby, selling it at a market. It's not a business, it's not bringing in revenue. So I do have to be very mindful of that. So again, that is also part of the odds against this being I don't want to say a huge success. I do believe it will be a success, but not the mainstream of income, because I will have to have good size prices on the different things, but I can also back it up with the quality. So there will be a bit of a trade-off. If you look at it as you can get something that's lower quality, so you have the lower price, or you have the higher quality and higher price, it's going to be that. And I can understand where arts and crafts stuff that folks want to buy the lower end stuff, because if you're having just something that's ornamental, it doesn't have to be higher end. Whenever I do something, I want it to be higher end. I don't like doing stuff cheapo style. I don't like doing even simple fabrication projects with low end welds. I know sometimes it happens, especially when you're doing light gauge stuff. That's not necessarily my favorite, but I still do it. Obviously prior to the welding rig happening, because it hasn't happened as of lately. Y'all have seen the couple small projects that I've worked on, and sometimes light gauge stuff, things happen with it, but I try and uphold the standards of structural to it. That's just me. I like having that higher quality standard. That's just my own personal preference. That's the way I roll. So that will be the same with these other projects. Something's not up to par, it's not going to be sold. It'll be just a little demo project or learning project, and just learn from it, move on, and just keep going on with the other stuff. So that is game plan right now. I'm not going to say what the projects I have in mind are. I will let you all know what those are as I'm creating them and kind of going down the line a little bit more. And then obviously upgrading the website, getting that on there, and then getting the trademark done, so that way it is official with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office. It's something like that. It's a longer one. So I've been dealing a lot with that on LegalZoom. I've been going back and forth, messages, emails with the attorneys and some of the consultants on there, and just trying to get that all straightened out. And it's been a little bit of a hassle. Not saying that LegalZoom's been a hassle, it's just trying to figure that all out, because there's 3 trademarks going in, and making sure that each one has all of its proper paperwork and that everything's going through. And then each trademark will have to have filed about when I have something made and shipped out of state, and then that has to be on each trademark. So it's just a lot involved. It's been a lot going on, but it's part of the process. I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset. I'm not stressing over it. It's just part of the process. It's got to be done. So I'm very happy with all the stuff that I'm planning to have done and going to be working on. Again, you always stay updated on it, and I'm very excited to have these things churned out, not in the sense of churned out as just trying to get it done, but churned out, it's getting it more efficient, getting it to where it's the lowest amount of cost per hour, and having as much maximum efficiency as possible. So work on some projects, see how long it takes, see what can be done faster or more efficient, and then just be able to churn out a bunch in a lump amount of time, not just do one day, one another day. I'm not planning on doing huge art things that's going to cost a whole bunch in shipping, and I want to keep that down as well, because that will have to be unfortunately passed on to clients. And as we all know, when we buy something, we don't want to pay a bunch in shipping. It's just, with metal, anything that's decent size, it's going to weigh a lot. And being a smaller business, I don't have the luxury of having discounted rates like some of the bigger corporations do that we buy a bunch of things from. So that's all the stuff that's going on, been working on figuring out, and there will be a lot of vlogs update on that, so I'll keep y'all posted, and I'll see y'all in the next vlog.